Good afternoon, everybody. It's Marianne Bailey with the HIP Senior Business Edition. And today we are here with Diane Kehler from Cartridge World Dublin. Diane, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you, Marianne.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm so glad that you had time to hop on here with us today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So, Diane, you're in the Columbus area, specifically in Dublin, right?
Yes, that's correct. Dublin is a northwest suburb of Columbus, and we're just to the west of historic downtown Dublin.
Okay, okay. Now, how long have you been in Dublin?
The store has been here since 2004,
Okay.
and I've owned it since 2009, purchased from the first owner. So we are celebrating 17 years. Actually, the store is celebrating 17 years this year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a, you know, these days it's miraculous when stores continue to stay in business and to do what they do and finding just different ways of making themselves relevant as things change, right?
That is true. We've been in a very evolving industry because we are tied to the technology industry um, as the printer people. And we've seen a lot of changes over the course of our ownership. Um, One of the most relevant has been we no longer refill cartridges in-house. We have outsourced that to plants around the country, and they do it in bulk and they do it automated. So it's very precision oriented. So the quality also is very, very high.
Well, let's back up a little bit then, because now we're talking about refilling cartridges. So let's tell people what Cartridge World Dublin actually is and what you actually do. Let's start with the business side of it.
Okay, yes. Cartridge World is actually a franchise. It's actually a global franchise. It began in Australia in the 1990s. The U.S. headquarters are actually in Chicago, and our store was the 36th store to open in the United States in 2004. It began as an in-house ink refill model, and then it began to evolve more into toner cartridges, which are actually remanufactured. By that, I mean that our suppliers take the cartridge, they unscrew it, they open it up, they clean it, and they replace worn parts, and then they put it back together and then refill that with toner that is specific to the make and model of that cartridge. So there's no cutting, it's all intact. And then all of our cartridges are triple tested at the factory, and they meet very stringent standards before they're packaged and ready for sale.
So are you telling me that toner isn't toner?
Toner
That
is
yeah,
toner.
it varies per machine,
Yes, toner would be powder, so that's the large
right?
cartridges. And yes, it is not universal, so it's very specific. So a black toner in one cartridge is not the same as a black powder toner in another.
Oh wow, I never knew that. I just kind of figured toner was toner.
No, it's actually very specific. And the same with ink. It's not universal ink that our suppliers use. It's specific to the make and model of the cartridge. So they are all different. And then our supplier gets their inks from Germany, which is the highest quality of ink produced in the world. And like I said, it's triple tested and it meets very stringent standards.
So, Diane, are you telling me that a brother toner, a brother laser jet or whatever, might print a different red than the same red if they're specified in the design, right? So we say, whatever the number is that they put in that design. If there's the same design and you print that same brochure out on two different brothers, say an HP and a brother, they might look differently because of the toner.
Um, The toner from an HP versus a Brother, it will still be, for example, if you're printing magenta, it will still come out red, but it will mimic the original. So for example, if you have an HP and you put in a store bought or an actual retail HP cartridge,
Right.
it's going to come out printed the same way as the original. So our remanufactured toners will look the same as the original, and we guarantee that. So the Brother, it'll look like a Brother printout. The HP will look like an HP printout.
Okay. I just thought that you said, by the way, like the toner isn't always, one toner for one printer isn't the same as a toner for another printer. I thought there might be some like variations in that factor of that.
Right. There might be a little bit of discrepancy from one Brother printer to another, but there's definitely differences between a Brother and an HP.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. All right. So, what else do you guys do on the business side of that? Is there anything else that um, Cartridge World Dublin does?
We have several services that we offer to our business clients. That would be printer monitoring. So we do have an in-house software system where we can actually monitor the toner levels of our clients. So what we do is we drop a very small data collection piece of software onto our clients' servers. And this is a no-cost value-added service. So with their permission, we set it up so that we can, in essence, babysit their machines.
Okay.
So once they agree to it, we simply send a link. It's very easy to install. It's also HIPAA compliant, so it is not deep mining data. It is simply monitoring toner levels and then counting the number of pages that are produced through that printer. So we can actually see how many pages a printer has produced and gauge its life cycle. So we can see when that printer is getting close to end of life, it might need service, or it might be time to replace that machine. So this is all done here at our office, and it's very proactive. So we can actually fulfill deliveries before the client would even need to pick up the phone or send us a message and let us know it's time to replace a toner. And the clients that we have on this system really like it. So it's taking more off of their plate and allowing us to serve them.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay.
So
Anything
that
else on the business side?
that is one service. Another one that we have is our no-cost printer program. This would be for businesses that are printing in bulk. To qualify for a monochrome laser they would need to be printing about 3,000 pages a month. For a color laser jet machine, they would need to be printing about 6,000 pages a month. And when we supply the machine, we ask our clients to purchase 2 sets of toners from us at the time of delivery. So that allows us to be in the black. And then moving forward, all service and maintenance is on us. And then we also offer free delivery or drop shipment. And the client simply agrees to purchase toners from us as needed.
Oh,
So it's a win-win. So they're getting a free machine. There's no monthly fees. There's no contract that they're paying. There's no surplus charge per month. They just purchase toners from us as needed. So that's our no-cost printer program. And then for clients that are looking for another machine or a new machine, we can also supply those, but the cost then would be on the client, and then that machine would be theirs. So they would own it. And then they can also benefit from our service of the lower cost for the toner cartridges.
Now, for the free one, do they get to choose what kind of printer, or do you choose? How does that work? What kind of printer do they get?
We actually go shopping for them, and we will find the best machine that will fit their needs.
Okay.
So we've had some clients that have asked, we want a color all in one. We will look for that. Some clients have specifically said they want a printer that will do faxing or duplexing. Some people have just said, we just need a plain printer. So we can actually find the best machine for their needs.
And how long of a contract is that with you for that?
For the no cost printer program, ideally, we would like to have 3 years for them with us. Um, if they say, I'd really like to do 2 years, we can work with that.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Any other services for businesses?
Um, we can also drop ship anywhere in the United States. We also offer free delivery. Actually, we also offer delivery here in Central Ohio. Um, Drop shipment and deliveries are free on orders under $150.
Okay.
I'm sorry, if it's over $150. If it's under that amount, it's only $8.
Okay. That's fair. Awesome. Well, we're the Hip Senior here, so we know that you guys do some retail and some senior services in addition to your business services that you offer.
Mhm.
And I would like to know a little bit more about how a senior can benefit from doing business with you as well, because I know a lot of seniors that have printers.
Yes, yes. Thank you for asking, Marianne. Um, we do have a vibrant walk-in business. So if anyone is in the area, up here in Dublin, we're in the Dublin Plaza, and we're open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, we're open 10 to 2. So if a client would like to visit us in person, we're always ready to welcome them and help them out in person. If they are outlying from Central Ohio, or if they would like a drop shipment, they can let us know, and we'll be happy to ship to their home. Again, that cost would be $8 if the order is under 150. Um, Another service that we offer, if they are looking for a printer or to replace a machine, we can actually locate the best printer for their needs. Sometimes I've just simply pointed them to a printer that is on sale. That would be one that we could supply, and I'll let them know the cost. I'll also let them know the cost of the replacement cartridges, so they know that up front. And if they would like us to do the purchasing for them, we can certainly do that. Or sometimes they might just say, all right, thanks for pointing me in the right direction. I'm going to go out to Staples or Best Buy and place that order myself. And then that printer will come directly to their doorstep. Um, we also have a shredding service. That's an in-house service. So if they come in and they have sensitive documents they want shredded, we can take care of that. Um, our cost is 99 cents a pound. However, if they have a large volume, that'll be discounted.
Okay.
We also have an in-house copy service. So if they need to make copies, we can do that as well.
Can
Um,
they email you files that maybe they need printed and then pick them up there?
yes, they can do that. Our cost for that for black and white is 10 cents a page. And if it's color, it is 29 cents
Okay.
for copies. And oh, we also have electronic recycling. So if they have used electronics that are just laying around the house and they're ready to get rid of them, don't put them in the landfill. Bring them to us, and we will make sure that they are safely recycled.
Now,
We
you
will.
had told me in the past that you guys would actually pick up some stuff, but that's only if you're in Dublin, right? Are you still
Um,
doing that?
we have picked up from businesses before. However, we do not go to local homes because we're not licensed or bonded for that.
Right.
So for security purposes, for the seniors as well as for us, we just ask that they bring them to us.
And
Um,
is there a cost to that?
no, there is no cost.
Okay.
Sometimes seniors have even asked maybe some grandchildren or children to bring the electronics over to us, and then they'll just drop them off.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. So we've talked about copies and shredding and machines and shopping. I know you guys are also you also have some community outreach stuff. What are you involved with within your community?
Um, right now, we are a local drop-off site for the Byron Saunders Foundation.
What's
With
that for people that don't know?
the Byron Saunders Foundation is an organization that feeds families in need at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So it was started by Brian Wallenberg, and he is passionate about helping folks at Thanksgiving and making sure that they have all the trimmings for a nice family Thanksgiving meal. So what we do throughout the year is we collect paper boxes. So these would be boxes with lids, and they store like the reams of paper that you would have in an
Right.
office. So if there are any offices out there that have extra paper boxes, instead of recycling them, if you would like to donate them to the Byron Saunders Foundation, we are a collection site. And then we're also a collection site for the non-perishable food items that go into those boxes. So that would include canned vegetables, instant potatoes, could be stovetop stuffing mix. And then prior to Thanksgiving, a little bit before that, Brian goes out and purchases turkeys for the families, and then every family gets a turkey. But those are actually purchased in November. But if anyone would like to donate gift cards to a local grocery store for the turkeys, um, Brian also accepts gift cards.
Well, that's really nice. How early in the year do you start accepting stuff for that?
We start it's year round,
Okay.
so it could be as early as December, right after Thanksgiving. Anybody that wants to drop something off, boxes, as long as the items are non-perishable, and the expiration date is not going to expire for this upcoming Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's what my suggestion was going to be was to check those expiration dates.
Right,
And also, I also have another tip. It's like if you're going to donate something like that, make sure that it's something that people would enjoy eating for their holiday meal. Just don't go through your cabinet and find stuff that you hate, that other people are going to hate as well, because that's not an enjoyable Thanksgiving meal.
right, right.
So, all right. Well, anything else that you guys are involved with that you wanted to talk about?
I know Cartridge World Dublin is very involved in the chambers. I'm a strong advocate and volunteer for community service projects here in Dublin. I have volunteered with the annual. Um, it usually falls in conjunction with Earth Day. It's the spring cleanup. It's Community Service Day where um, Dublin Chamber goes out and volunteers. It's mostly seniors that are in need of some yard cleanup in the spring. And Dublin Chamber is one of the large. It is the largest suburban chamber in the state of Ohio. So we have a lot of volunteers. And this year, with the pandemic, there were a large number of volunteers that wanted to give back. Um, but many seniors had already had volunteers come out and help clean up their yards during the shutdown. But it was nice to get out. It was a nice day, and they had an amazing turnout for volunteers helping clean up yards as well as local schools.
It's always
Um,
nice when Mother Nature decides to work with dates that are on the calendar for those type of things.
yes, yes.
So
Um,
speaking of the pandemic, I'm glad you brought that up. How did the pandemic affect Cartridge World? What was there any downside? I mean, some businesses really suffered and struggled through the pandemic. Some businesses found creative ways of working through, and some just didn't change at all. How did it affect you guys?
um, we maintained last year, which we were thankful for that. And one thing that we did offer was curbside pickup. So if there was a client that was um, not comfortable coming into the store, we offered curbside service. So they would simply give us their credit card over the phone, and then we would just run the order out to their car and place it like in their back seat. We maintained masks as well as sanitizing the front lobby. We also had hand sanitizer on the front counter. Um, we never shut down because we are a supplier to essential services. We supply several doctors' offices as well as some municipalities. So since they were open, we were open. Um, One thing that I have seen a shift in this industry is that with workers working from home, there were more home-based users, um, workers that needed cartridges for their home printers. We also saw parents as well as grandparents coming in and purchasing cartridges for children that were being schooled at home. So they needed printouts for their coursework. Another big shift that we've seen in the business world is um, companies are really taking a harder look right now at their print cost and evaluating um, what size of machine do they really need. So we've had conversations with businesses that we might otherwise not have been conversing with, and we're able to bid on those businesses and let them know this is what we can offer. You can evaluate and see what are you paying right now versus what we can offer. So there's been some doors opening in our industry that we're excited about.
Now, do any of those free printers contract things, did those apply to any businesses, small businesses, or just personal usage?
That applies to businesses.
Okay.
So our no cost printer program is for businesses.
Okay.
But if there is a home-based business that is printing in that high of volume, then they certainly would qualify for a no-cost printer as well.
I would imagine graphic designers and people that design brochures for people and stuff like that. I know I used to be a print broker, and I would often have people that would order brochures, like high numbers of them, but then they would also have an event in 7 days or in 3 days, like, oh, this weekend. And so I would often overnight them, 25 brochures or 125 brochures, whatever, from my laser printer, just so that they could get through that event. And I imagine that some of that would be good customers for you as well.
That's true. That's true. Um, we've also found that independent insurance brokers, let's see, lawyers in the legal field, in the financial field, they are all printing in high volume. Um,
You know who prints in high volume, Diane? I
who's
was just
that?
complaining about this yesterday. Is health insurance companies, because look at all the mail. I went and got my mail from my PO box yesterday, and there were 12 pieces of mail in it, and 7 of them were from my health insurance company with EODs and all that other stuff and whatever. And I was just like, look at all the paper and the ink that they use on this. So I imagine that you should go after every single health insurance company in Ohio, at least in Ohio, if not further out, and resupplying them because they just use ungodly amounts.
Right. The health insurance industry would also be a good vertical market.
Yeah,
I
definitely
know
not green companies when it comes to that kind of stuff.
that's true. Another shift too is these larger companies right now, they're doing a lot of scanning. So they're really focusing on going as paperless as possible. But they are still printing. So they still need the smaller desktop printers, which is our sweet spot. So if they have maybe a larger printer that, might have been collecting dust during the pandemic, or maybe not being utilized as much as it had been, that would also be a sweet spot for us because if they want to downsize their printing, we would be a perfect match. We could find a smaller printer that would meet their needs and it would also save them on cost.
Now, you mentioned earlier paper. You guys do not supply paper, or do you?
We do. That is also another service that we offer.
Okay.
We can sell it by the ream or by the box. Most of our retail clients will come in and purchase a ream. And then
Specialty papers?
it is actually, it's all purpose printer paper. So it's 8.5 by 11.
Right. But can
Uh,
you get specialty paper for people if they needed it or not?
we can. In fact, if folks go out to our website, there is a button that they can click on to purchase office supplies. So we're actually doing that now as well.
Okay. All right. Well, Diane, can you think of any last things that you want to get the point out about to people?
Let me just give you our email, I'm sorry, our website
Yeah.
address real fast. It's cartridgeworldusa.com/store 36.
You mean forward slash
I'm sorry, /
store 36?
store 36.
All right. I'll put that in the comments of this podcast as well so that we people have that as well.
All right, thank you, Marianne.
And if they wanted to give you a call, what's your phone number?
Our phone number is 614-889-8488.
8488.
And if I'm not here, my husband Eric is always here. So they could talk to either of us.
All right, so Eric or Diane at Cartridge World Dublin,
Yeah.
614-889-8488. For any of your printing needs, any of your paper needs, be sure to reach out to them and find out how they can help you because sometimes, we just need to shop with, keep small businesses in business, right? So shop local, shop small, and continue to be awesome, Diane. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Hip Senior Podcast today. I appreciate you.
Yes, thank you so much, Marianne. I appreciate it.
All right, have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.